This meeting is being recorded.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, Sally. How you all doing?
Hello.
Hi, Shy.
Great.
I'm gonna give people just a few more moments and then we'll go ahead and get started. So just getting in and
Hey guys. Hi.
hi, welcome everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. So I know I know some of you all, but I have not met Sally or Lisa. So nice to meet you, Lisa.
Thank you.
What farm did you come from? Or are you brand new?
Let's get hot.
Um, I'm not brand new. I actually was just on inactive trying to get my 30 post licensing classes out of the way.
Okay, welcome. Sally, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Hi. I originally was with JPAR and now I'm with LIR less than maybe 2 weeks.
Okay, okay. Well, welcome. So have you been in real estate for a while or are you just changing firms?
I just changed firms. I've been in real estate for about maybe 3 years.
Okay. So before we get started, so we have two groups that are going, that are kind of running parallel to each other. For those who don't know me, I'm Alicia Murray. I'm one of the people that train in the technology part of the training. It's so nice to meet you all. You probably heard of me, but you have not got a chance to see me. So here I am, in the Zoom land. So what we've done to try to eliminate some confusion, we have created camps. So we have a camp A and we have a camp B. So camp A is for those students who have been in these training classes for the last 3 weeks or longer. So if you've been here since about March, then you're in the wrong group. Yes. So
But
if you have seen, yeah, so Shy and Stacy and Jessica, this is not the right camp for you. You all have grown up. You have moved on.
okay.
Oh no, really?
Yes,
All right,
yes.
sorry.
So
It's in
where
the
do
chat.
we go? What classroom do we go to?
The other one that Charmaine posted.
Yes, the
Live.
Charmaine posted. That's the camp that you want to be in because you are grown up now. I don't have you in my class anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
See
bye
you
guys.
later.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Jessica, the same applies to you as well. So you will
Okay.
not
I
be
tried to
in
get
my
out.
class.
I
But
tried
it's
to
nice
get
to
out.
see you.
All right. Nice to see you too.
I'll talk to you later. And for Sally, I know that you just joined the firm. If you want to stay in and kind of see what we do, teach on the Dotloop, and we may not can get into Lofty because Dotloop is pretty intense and it's going to take more than one session. You can stay, but this is for brand new who know nothing about the technology of Dotloop. Does that apply to
Okay.
you?
I'm familiar with Dotloop.
Okay. Okay. So I just want to make sure that I am cognizant of your time. And although I know that we can sit here and talk to each other, see your beautiful faces, I want to make sure that I use your time wisely.
Should I go to the next group then?
The next group is for those who have been a little bit longer. So if you want to partake in that, then yes, you can go into that group.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Welcome, John. John, welcome.
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you too. I hadn't seen you in a while. How's things
No, really good. How about you?
going? Good, good.
So I hear you're the Dotloop queen.
I don't know about the queen, but I can,
Okay, good. Excellent.
So I'm all things technology. I do I teach contracts also, but my main focus is the technology piece of what we do in the firm. So that's Dotloop and Lofty. We do have some others that are in Lofty that goes
Yeah.
more in the advanced level. So I teach basic and intermediate, and then I pass it on to the next
Okay,
level.
great. Fantastic. I'm in the right place then. Perfect.
All
I'm
right.
not unfamiliar with Dotloop. I got into it this last 2 weeks with a contract, my first contract, and so yeah, I'm not unfamiliar, but this is great timing. This is great time. I'll probably have some questions too as we go along.
Good, good, good. All right. So, and Lisa, tell me one thing about you that we would never guess.
Huh? That you would never guess.
That I would never guess. I love to do an
I don't know.
icebreaker because I don't like for it to be boring because the technology part can be a little boring. So I try to make it fun.
I was a top listing agent back in 2006.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I would have guessed that. You have a great smile and a great from Zoom world. I would have guessed that.
Well, I'm trying to get back there again, so I know I'm linked with the right company.
Yes, yeah. Well, welcome home. You're definitely in the right place. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
John, what about you?
What was a secret that
No, what's one
nobody
thing?
would guess about?
Yeah, no, we would not guess
Huh.
about you. A
Huh,
hobby.
you wouldn't. Oh, they wouldn't guess about me. You probably wouldn't guess that I went to school I got my degree as an actor.
Oh,
You wouldn't
Oh,
guess
my.
that, right?
That's nice.
no, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you currently pursuing or you just do a little bit on the side?
Well, I try to, interject that with my videos. So, it's kind of like performance related in a way. So, but for now, I'm all focused on the real estate. So,
Okay, good deal. Well, thank you so much for sharing. So
yeah,
while we're sharing, I'll share a little bit about
yeah,
me. I I love golf. So I'm a golfer.
nice.
That's one thing about me. Most people don't know that I'm a golfer.
Are you good? Are you good?
I'm pretty good. I
Oh,
am
really?
pretty good. I'm still I'm more in the intermediate. I'm not advanced yet, but
Yeah.
said that it's a sport that either you like it or love it, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, yeah. I played one
That's
time
awesome.
like years ago. And I loved it. I'm not good at it, but I absolutely loved playing golf. It was a lot of fun. Like
Yes,
real golf, not miniature golf, like real golf. I was like, wow, this is a lot of fun.
yes. I ordered my
Good
golf
for you.
clubs, and I'm so excited. I have my little golf clubs, and I just fit right in when I'm on the
Nice.
golf course.
That's
Fantastic.
awesome. That's nice.
So it's nice to meet you all. For those who don't know me, I not only do the technology part, I also is Sean right-hand woman. So anything, Sean, if whatever you need, and as far as that aspect, I help him out a lot, help him run the firm, and it's been a great journey. So I really appreciate him and seeing the
Yeah.
growth in the firm. It's been amazing, and to be able to teach. I used to teach math and ELA in the public school in Charlotte Mecklenburg schools.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So are you good at the real estate math?
Real estate.
I know. If I was questioned right now, I know I'd fail. Just, yeah, I'd have to go back and, yeah, it's tough.
People
It just,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, it's okay. No, it's its own thing. You have to know real estate math. It's its own thing. Yeah.
Yeah, well, people have reached out to me because they know that I'm the math person. I do have a degree in accounting, which is still does not equate to math to me. It's real estate math. Real estate math is real estate math. I don't know how to compare it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole logic and arithmetic part of it, but
Good
I
for
can
you.
teach the concept of it.
Yeah.
So if someone needs to be tutored, like I have a couple students that are currently in real estate school that call me on the side, and I help them tutor them in the real estate math part. So I'm the
Great.
math and contracts and agency. But if you need anything else, then I can't help you on that.
Okay. Great. Very good. Very good.
We'll go ahead.
You sound multi-talented. That's fantastic. That's great.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen, or do you just still see my?
I see your screen. I see your
Okay.
screen.
Yep, I see it. Mhm.
So if you are unfamiliar with Dotloop, I'm going to teach it at a basic level. And if it's something that you have any questions about, please don't hesitate to just stop me and we can go over that in that moment. Give me just one moment. I apologize. Give me just one moment.
Not a problem. Take your time.
No problem.
So I'm one of those trainers who we have a hard stop at 7:30. So I try to make sure that I honor your time, regardless of how late we start. I still want to make sure we keep it to an hour. However, if you do have any questions, I will be here for another 15 minutes afterward to answer
Okay.
some of those. But I just want to make sure that I honor your time. I know it's in the evenings. So if you're new to Dotloop and you have a person that is ready to start a contract, is that where, since it's a small class, I can ask the question, is that something you need help getting started from the beginning? or would you like to see how you set up the loops?
I just went through this, so I personally don't need to see that, but maybe Lisa does. I don't mind seeing it again. I have no problem seeing it again.
Okay, okay, good deal. So what we'll do
Yeah,
is,
I would need to see it from the beginning.
sure.
Sorry, Joan.
I have no problem seeing it from the beginning too. Yeah.
So when you have a person, and congratulations, you got your first buyer or seller,
Yeah,
and
buyer.
now, and then it's now what, right? Like, what do I do? Where do I put them? Where do I get all those forms from? So then the first thing you want to do, we're going to just do test. So it's test. Let's see. I don't know why in my teaching purposes, and this just has always been my go-to, is test Flamingo. So Mr. Flamingo is going to be our test person for the day. So we got our new person. The first thing you want to do is add a loop. I just want to make sure that Flamingo wasn't already in there, so I just want to test it. So we're going to add Mr. Flamingo. He is ready to sign our documents, and I want to go ahead and send him this buyer agency agreement. And we want to make sure we send him a buyer agency agreement. Even if he don't sign with us, we want to make sure we at least get that to him within 3 days, right?
Now,
So
just so you know, on our screen, I don't see any activity. Should there be activity on our screen right
Yeah,
now?
me either.
no?
No.
I'm glad you.
No, it's just showing us names.
Yeah, it just says people at the top, and then it says a list of names.
People.
So we're not seeing any activity.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay. So let me stop share and start over. Let's see. Oh no, it still didn't. Let's see.
House and networks is just the worst.
I do believe I may have too many things open, so give me one moment. I do have a lot of things open on my screen.
See if I have a little bit more success.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
And it says people.
Yeah, we see the same screen we saw before.
You just
But I
saying
see her
people?
now I see your mouse moving around. I didn't see that last time.
Okay. Let's see. I have 2 screens open on my computer, so let me just share and you tell me what you see. Can you see anything right now?
It just has the background of the Zoom background.
Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna make sure that my Zoom, my Dotloop is not on my second screen. I think that's what the issue is. Wait a second. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I see the mouse.
You just see my mouse moving?
Uh-huh.
This is very. Do you see anything on here? It says
At the top of the screen that we see, it says sponsor calendar on your left tab. Then it says open AI, your second tab. It says Dotloop, your third tab. That's what I see anyway.
Let me see.
This, so you don't see the my.loop, the loops or anything on there. You just see.
No, we just see where it says, we see, we did see was, it did say Dotloop. It had a list of people, like a list of about 20 people on the main Dotloop page.
Did it say LIRNC Charlotte?
Yeah, it had the logo up there, yeah. But we didn't see anything like create loop or start loop or add loop, or I didn't see that tab there at all.
Hmm. I do apologize, you all.
No, don't worry about it. Listen. I know technical things do definitely happen. Don't worry about that.
We were on the right track until
I know things definitely happen.
let me just close down something because these two screens are. Let's see. So what do you see? Do you see a pink banner in the back? Do you
Yes,
see?
we see the pink banner.
Yeah.
It says Business Plus, and right below it says People, and then it has like a blue tab, and then like a list of like about 20 names.
Contact.
Aaron,
Yeah.
Abigail Henderson, Adam Barton. It's all in alphabetical order. And to the left it says contacts in LAR, North Carolina, Charlotte.
That is not the screen that I'm trying to share. I really, oh my goodness. Let's see. This never happens. This does not happen.
Okay.
So let's share this screen. Let's see, can you see this one?
Oh, that looks like you're getting somewhere there. All we see is like a thin bar in the middle, but I see
That looks
enter
different.
closing. Yeah, now I think you're on. Yeah, you're on the right page now, but we can only see a thin bar right down the middle, so it's not the full page. But you're definitely on the right. It looks like you're on the right page now. We just can't see the whole thing though.
I don't know what's going on with technology today. As many times as I've taught this class, I never have problems sharing my screen. Let's see.
Could it be our internet?
It's definitely not you all for sure. It's definitely not you. I do think that it's something with my screen share.
Okay.
I wonder if it's a Zoom thing. Is it possible it's a Zoom thing?
It could be. It very well could be.
It could be Zoom. Like they don't always perfect, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I appreciate you all being so patient because this is
Yeah, it's
something
okay. It's no problem.
I don't like to seem to be unprepared because I've been
Listen, it definitely happens to the best of us. It really does. I know.
I've been waiting on this class, so I will make sure I'm on time. And let me just close some things out because
No problem.
maybe it's getting a little wonky because I have too many things open. So let's see if you can see this tab. Let's see.
Okay.
Can you, my screen is paused. Resume share. I, this might be a short class tonight, you all.
It's okay. It's okay. It's
Oh
okay.
my, so disappointing. Can you see anything that I'm sharing?
No.
Mm-mm.
No. Oh, wait. Oh, there we go.
Here we
We
go.
got it.
2
Yeah.
homes, York, Jasmine Green.
Oh, you can see that.
Now, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Back
good.
back to my loops.
I'm glad you can see something.
There we go. There you go. There you got it. You got
Okay, here
it.
we go.
Now we
Okay.
see. Yep. Now we see. Yep. We see it now.
Carolina, Charlotte.
Oh, thank you so much for your patience. I was getting
No
a little
problem.
worried. So now you have that person. We get ready to add Mr. Flamingo. Can you see where it says add loop?
Yep.
Yes.
Add new loop. Yeah.
Okay. So in the property address, typically if you have a home that you have already shown this person and they're wanting to buy, or you just, but typically for buyers, I just put their name and then I go back in later and then add the property address whenever you go under contract.
Right.
So, but for now, I'll just name it Test Flamingo. And we have Dotloop set up in a way that makes it easier for you. So we put in the person's name and then we press continue. So this is a North Carolina buyer. So we
Right.
just go and select NC buyer residential. If this were land, then you would find land. Or if it was a lease, you would go down and select. So what we've done, try to make it easier so you don't have to even guess what forms may be needed in this transaction. We've added in all of them. If you don't need all of them, you don't need them, but you don't have to go and try to find and figure them out. They'll be automatically in your loop.
Oh,
So
wow, that's awesome.
yeah, we try to make it easy, but it's still
Yeah. It is great. It is great.
sometimes. So then you will be NC buyer residential, and then you press continue. You don't have a photo. Typically, that's if you have a seller. So if you have the picture of the home, then you want to upload it there. But this is a buyer, so you won't have any of that. So you just skip it and just keep clicking, and you're done. And so now Dotloop is creating your loop.
If you have if they have a home in mind, would you upload an image of the photo they might buy or not yet or not at all?
Not at all, because that may
Not at
be,
all. Okay.
because it may change, and then you got to go in and remove it, and then you may forget, and that's not even a home. So you just want
Yeah. Okay.
until
No,
you
you're right.
actually
You're
go
right.
under contract if you want to do
Gotcha.
that.
Okay.
So then now we have created a loop for Mr. Flamingo. We're getting ready to sign those documents. And this is how the inside of the loop would look. So we have your NC buyer checklist inside of the loop. And the checklist will have everything that you may or may not need for this transaction.
I love it. I love that.
So you have your
That keeps you on track. That
yeah.
it keeps you on track. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's fantastic.
So you have your working real estate agent, you have your exclusive buyer, which would be your first 2 documents that you send out. If they're not quite your client, then you just make sure you send out the first WWI.
Yeah. Yep.
And then all of these things are what you would need to complete an entire transaction.
Right.
If at any point you don't have those
Wow.
things in here, then you would need to add them.
Right.
But we've done it all for you. So you don't have
Yep.
to even think about what you need to do. So once you have all those documents, the first thing you want to do is fill out the working real estate agent document right here. And
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and click on it. And everything is a hyperlink, if you will. So for Mr. Flamingo, we want to add him into this loop in order for him to be a person. There are two ways to do that. You can go in here as autofill to start your new person, add in here. So I go ahead and add a person. And his name is Test Flamingo. Now I can't add him for real because we don't have an email address. So for test purposes, it'll just be an email. Just know that you need an email address here.
All right.
Then you select him as a buyer, and then you say add person.
Right. Test Flamingo. Okay.
So that's how it will look. So now you have to select yourself as the buying agent. So now it automatically populates to a buyer agent. So now you add a person. So then you will add yourself, add all your information, and that will stay with you autofill throughout the whole loop. So any document that you want to, I'm sorry.
No, I didn't say anything.
Okay. So any document that you want to fill out, you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. So once you autofill for one time, all your information is there for the next contract within this loop.
Okay.
So it's really easy. So once that's done, this is going to come up. You want to make sure, of course, these 3 boxes are checked for your new person, for Mr. Flamingo. Now make sure you don't check the last box because you don't want them to be unrepresented. And then you will have them sign right here at the bottom. Mr. Flamingo, if this were real, it would pop up, his name pop up right here because you put him in autofill. So it try to makes it easy so you don't have to go in and fill these things out.
Yeah.
If it were 2 buyers, then that will automatically pop up, but then you would have added that person into that autofill template when we first got started, and it will populate here.
Yeah.
Your information as an agent will automatically populate, and you don't have to worry about if I put my license number. Everything is done if you do it prematurely and get it set up properly. You have any questions about that?
Yeah, I have one technical question about now. They don't have to sign this, right? This is a disclosure.
They don't. That is correct.
Okay.
They do not have to sign.
I just wanted to clarify that. I didn't know if something changed with the real estate commission, but they don't have to sign it, but you would like them to sign it, right?
Yes,
All right,
definitely.
I just want to clarify. Okay. All right. Okay. No problem. So yeah, so I just did this. Now I didn't do this part. So now with my client, I'm going to have to resubmit this to my client and check off these boxes. Now this is for a lease. So I'll go. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, so if it was for a lease, you'll have a different one for a lease, but you still want to make sure, even if they're leasing, if there's one for leases as well, but you definitely want to make sure they sign this first. Now, to answer your question, they do not have to sign this document. However, if they become your client and you go under agency, this document needs to be signed as well as the agency agreement. The only way is unacceptable.
Okay.
The only way that you can get away with them not signing this, if you met them at the grocery store, they told you a little bit about what they got going on, money and motivation, you send this to them, and then all of a sudden they call you back and say, you know what, I really wasn't interested, I don't want to do a home. Then they don't have to sign it, but you did send it to them and you have documentation proving that you did send them this real estate agent.
So all right, so it's the fact that she's now under contract, so she does have to sign it.
Yes.
That's no problem. That's no problem. So the only way I'll handle that is I'll say we just got into this new system and I forgot to tell you to sign this because now I feel dumb because I didn't know that part. So that's okay. That's why I'm in class. That's why I'm in class. Okay, no problem. Great. Fantastic.
And that's a great point too, John. Before you go on the contract, make sure that they sign this document. This document is not after, but in your case, just make sure that they sign it before you close.
Okay.
Otherwise,
fine. No problem. No problem.
Yeah.
I gave myself a crash course in Dotloop last Sunday because I had to get the documents to her on Monday to sign. So I had to figure it out myself last Sunday. So, but anyway, it's okay. She signed, she gave us a check, so it's okay. But anyway, I'm gonna have to go back and say, oh, it's a new system. I messed up a couple of things, but she trusts me, so it's okay.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, you clarified a couple of things for me. Yeah.
Did she sign on paper or did she sign electronically?
She signed on Dotloop.
And Dotloop, okay. Just send it to her.
Yeah.
And just have her to sign it, and then that way you have documentation. But just remember, just remember, make sure this document is first.
Yes. So she signs this before she signs the contract. If we know she's going to be under contract, that's what you're saying. If we know she'll be under agency.
Within 3 days, well, you're going to send this to her within 3 days.
Correct.
But then if you know that because let me just back up. Sometimes we meet a client and we meet them at the house. We've never met them, first time meeting them, we meet them at the house. And then they say, you know what, Alicia, I love this home. I want you to be my agent. Can you represent me? Put an offer on this house.
Right.
That does happen and has happened. So then at that time, then you'll say, sure. But before I can do anything for you, we have some documents to sign first. So although we are excited about the offer, now we have to send her about 20-something pages of documentation that she has to sign before we can put in an offer. So then you would send it to her first. You want to make sure she's on the agency second. And then offer the purchase is third. So if you think about it that way, it kind of helps you stay on track to remember which one is first. You go back to that checklist. The first thing up there is this one. So how I had to remember it is the shortest form is the most important document they need to sign before you get to the long form. And then the form that's longer than that one is the offer to purchase. So if you are signing the long form before the short form, then you're out of order. That's how you
Thank
do
you. Thank you.
I like that.
All right. I'll find a way to finesse it. I'll find a way to finesse it in there. That'll be okay. All right. Fair enough.
And another thing with Dotloop is automatically designed for 2 buyers or sellers, same thing. But if it's only one person and you know that it's only one person buying, what you can do is it's automatically going to populate. It's going to say buyer signature, and the next one's going to say buyer signature. If it's only one, the only thing you have to do is go up to your assigned, where you assign to it, and just assign it to no one. When you assign it to no one, you'll notice that buyer signature goes away.
Yeah.
Even though it says signature here, unfortunately, we can't. You won't see it say buyer signature because this is for test purposes. But if this were real, it'll automatically populate as buyer signature. And if you don't do that, once you send this document to Mr. Flamingo, and it still has a buyer right here, in Dotloop, it's going to look like it's still not completely signed. It's going to say waiting on others. And I'll show you an example of what that looks like. Any questions on getting set up with Dotloop, getting those forms ready to go for your people?
I'm good.
Okay.
I definitely learned a couple of things tonight.
So as far as me registering for Dotloop, I just need to register because I'm not on it yet.
So how long ago has it been before you joined?
I just joined like today.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, wow. You jumped right into it. Wow. You jumped right into it. It took me like 8 months to do this or whatever it was.
No, I just joined today. So
welcome.
Yeah, got my paperwork and stuff. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Absolutely.
I'm doing my start email stuff, all of that's
Good
what
for
I'm
you.
on right now.
You jumped right into this. Good for you.
So if you don't mind, I'll give you my phone number, and then you go ahead and send me your first and last name and your email address that you would like to be on your forms, and I'll go ahead and get you put in Dotloop.
Awesome. Okay.
So my number is 704
Uh-huh.
777
Mm-hmm.
5633. I was gonna say 9311, then you would have been like, what?
How do you spell your name, hon?
It's ALISIA.
Uh-huh.
And your number is 704-777-5633.
Yes.
I was eavesdropping there, just say, so I have your number too.
Oh yeah, please, please. If you have
I should have your number, so okay, great,
yeah.
great.
If you have any questions, if you need, my assistance with anything, my phone does go on Do Not Disturb at 8:45. But if you need me after that time, then just send me a text message and it'll come through and I'll see it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And we teach, so you'll be ahead. Tell me your name one more time. I'm so sorry. Lisa. So Lisa, you'll be a little bit ahead. You'll be ahead because whenever you go through your contracts portion of your training, you'll already be familiar with Dotloop, which it'll make it easier to kind of navigate through those forms.
Okay. Yeah, sounds pretty good.
Good. So, and don't get discouraged throughout the process. It is a lot of information, but just know that we're all here to assist you. And whatever you don't know, we know that. So just let us know. Don't feel like, oh, I don't want to bother her. I know she's busy. Oh, I don't want to do that. I know they're busy. Bother us and let us know because we're here to help you. Okay.
Okay. You got it.
Okay. So then now that you have added in a loop, you want to make sure they get all these forms. Now I'm a little bit extra because I do teach the classes and we teach compliance. I go a step further and I send my clients the Work with a Real Estate Agent brochure.
Yeah.
Now, some people don't do this, but I do, and I make sure that I can add an initial. So this is how you would add an initial to any PDF document that you need. Now, this information it is going to be a lot. This is a surface level, and I can always come back and show you. It makes more sense where you're doing it versus seeing me do it. I'm kinetic, so I understand. If you needed to add an initial, all you do is add initials. And we could set it up for Test Flamingo to initial right here. It's really, really simple. If you prefer them to sign it, then you just add signature, assign it to Mr. Flamingo, and then he'll sign it versus initialing it. And then that way, if anything happens, and we know real estate, everything happens. But if anything happens, if anything happens and they say, well, I didn't understand dual agency. I didn't agree to dual agency. I don't know what that means. Then you can say, well, sir, you initial this document where we talked about dual agency. We talked about hiring a real estate agent. We talked about all these things and you were aware of it. I gave it to you. I explained it to you what it meant. And then you even initialed. That's where the CYA comes. And CYA for me is cover your assets. And so that's the and when we say assets, we think about real estate, real estate having those licenses is an asset to us. And we want to make sure we keep them. We want to make sure we keep them covered. So then we have the exclusive buyer. And again, that's part of the adding loops. I want to pause. I know I've been talking a lot and allow you any questions about how to add a loop and what you need to do next.
So far, so good for me. You're an excellent teacher. Excellent teacher.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So this class is not designed to show you how to fill out the contract forms. That's another class that you will have to attend. But I do like to go over them. So again, this buyer checklist is here to let you know where to start. Everything is in order. Part 1 of agency. You want to make sure part 1 is done. We also have sample documents that also accompany the offer to purchase. Once everything is signed and executed, these documents are able to be dragged. You can drag them throughout this loop. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anything you need, you can drag it or move it. So if you need to add a document, let's just say you came into a situation and you needed to add an addendum that you don't see in here. So we've thought about the whole basic scenario, but as you know, as you continue to grow in real estate, you're going to see scenarios that you never thought even occurred in real estate, but it does, and it's an addendum for that. So if you needed to find another addendum that is not listed here, don't fret, we have more. So you would go here and add a document. You go to your templates, and if you have, do you have your, how long you say you've been in real estate, Lisa?
I've been in for a while, but I'm basically new because I'm in a new city. I'm
Oh,
from Maryland, so you know I practiced in Maryland. So now that
okay,
I'm here, I'm pretty much new to the
okay.
city. I still
Yeah,
GPS everywhere.
yeah. North Carolina
So
is just different when it's real estate. It's just a whole different
yeah,
as far as the form.
totally. So I am a new agent.
So if you have your NARS number, then you can go into North Carolina interactive documents and find whatever you need that you may not see in the loop that's pre-added for you. So if you needed to add, let's just say you needed to add short sale, if you needed to do a seller net sheet, whatever you need from North Carolina, because you have these documents at your fingertips because you're part of the North Carolina Real Estate Commission and part of NAR, you have these forms. They provide them for you.
Okay.
So you can go in here and find whatever form that you need to pull in there. So let's just say we don't have, let's see, let me find one. Mm, hmm. Let's find something. Okay. This is just for training purposes. We need to terminate a contract. Whatever you need is in here. Only thing you have to do is click on it, make a copy of it, click OK, and it's going to pull whatever you need into this loop for you. So now you need to terminate it. It's already there. This autofill populates because it's trying to eliminate a lot of extra work. So once you put it in there, it's done. So now you have added the termination of contract form to your loop. If you decide, you know what, that's the wrong form, I made a mistake, I was moving too fast, don't worry about it. You can always archive it. The great thing about Dotloop is we move fast in real estate and we sometimes tend to overlook stuff or we just move too fast. It does not delete it, but it will archive it. Because you may find that you may need it again and you just go back and unarchive it. So in order to get it out of your view, in order for us to see it whenever you submit your things for compliance, when we looking at it, we don't need to see it if we don't need it. So if you don't need it and this was a mistake, just these three little dots right here, you can archive it. And then now it's gone. Also, if you need to, if you need to add a folder, you can add a folder. You can add a folder, you can rename it, whatever you want to rename it here. So you have a new folder. Once you click away from it, now your new folder has been added. If you don't need it, again, just archive it and it's gone. Hi, Yadi. Thank you so much for joining.
Hi, Yari.
If you don't know Yadi, she is your lovely broker in charge. She is stopping by to say hello.
Hi there.
I had the pleasure of meeting her.
Hey.
Hey,
Hi.
look at her, look at her looking gorgeous as ever. So once
Hilarious.
you once you add in your once you once you add a document, you can add a document, you can add as many documents as you need to whatever loop. Also, we have also try to make it even easier. So if the document has not been signed on both sides, then it's considered non-executed. So if you have not gotten the both signatures, then you just want to leave it right here. But once you have the documents executed, you can move them to the executed side, which makes it a really, really, really easy for us to find things. Also, if you are pulling in documents, let's just say, I'm going to give you an example. I need to pull in a picture from a check that was deposited, but it may not say a check that was deposited. We don't know that whenever it comes in. So you can always rename your things that can come in so we'll know what that means. You see how when you pull in a document, it has all these numbers and all these PDFs and have all that stuff. We don't know what any of that means. So just rename it so we'll know how to determine where it goes. If you, I'm gonna pull in, let's see. I'm just gonna pull in this. This HOA bylaws right here, I renamed it. It did not automatically come that way. I renamed it. But if I don't want that name and that's something that I don't understand or you wouldn't understand, just make it where we can understand it whenever they do compliance. So they'll be able to do it. All you have to do is rename it. Really easy.
Yeah. Good.
Any questions?
CCS, did you
So
go
you were
over how to
saying
rename
that, oh,
oh, sorry. Did you go over how to rename, like, style the entire transaction?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand you. What'd you say?
Did you go over how to rename the entire transaction?
No. So like the name right here at the top?
Yeah.
No. So that was gonna be my last thing I was gonna go over.
Oh, okay.
Any questions about what we went over so far?
so I had a question. Yeah, you were saying that like if one document is not finished, we could place it in like the the unfinished section and then we can drag it to complete once we're done.
Yes. Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's already
I'll
set
be
up.
able to see it more once I'm okay. I
Mhm.
got it.
Once it's executed, whenever she does compliance and she's looking at the documents, she's looking to see if it's executed or not, and it just makes it a lot easier for her to say, oh, this one is executed, the MOG, what everything is signed on both sides. She can check it and just keep moving. And then when it's non-executed, she'll know, okay, well, it's non-executed. But if this was the end of the transaction, and that's the other thing, let me make that part clear. You can submit your documentation, which we do. We do recommend that you do that. Once you have the working real estate agent brochure, your exclusive buyer agency agreement in there, and if you do happen to have an offer to purchase, go ahead and submit it for review, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's say you have all these things ready to go. They've been signed by your buyer, but you want us to check it for compliance. Only thing you would have to do is select whatever boxes, submit for review. And this goes directly to her queue, alerting her that these documents need to be checked. The last thing that you want to happen is that you submit this whole file, and then it is Memorial Day weekend and you're looking for a payment after you wanted your commission. But she definitely has to go through every document line by line, making sure that everything is done in compliance, and it will delay your commission disbursement if these documents are not reviewed in a timely manner. So we definitely encourage any document to be checked before we go to the next level, and it makes it easier for her, and it expedites you getting paid too once you get to that closing of a document, of a transaction. And the last thing I want to show you is, I know that John asked his question about adding a photo, if it changes or adding a house. And that's the reason why we try not to do that in the beginning, because we don't know what house they choose. Or we may have it named as Mr. Flamingo, but then we find out that we need to add his wife there too. We can always make a change right here. And sometimes you won't know that until you get halfway in the transaction. So all you have to do is go in here, and I went into details. I'll go back, view details. Then you can make a change how use custom name. You can change how this is done. So Mr. Flamingo and Miss Flamingo, whatever you need to do, you can change it. And this is where it gets tricky if you put an address in here for a buyer, because we can look at 15 homes and they may not like any of them. So you want to make sure, but at least you know their name. So you want to keep the name in there. You can also add a person in this area too. So at the last of the transaction, you realize that you needed to add his wife, because now she said she want to buy with him, which you didn't know that at first. You can add her right here really quickly. You can add person. Also, the last thing I want to show, and then you just save it, and then now it's changed. So you go back to the loop. So now you have changed the name up here. And then the last thing I want to say, if you need to add a person other way, it's so many ways you can add a person, but whatever is easy for you. You can also add a person at the bottom. Instead of going back through everything, you can just come to the bottom of the page, add a person, add Miss Flamingo, and she'll now be added to the loop. Any questions? It is 7:27. Y'all have been great.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Getting all the emails her husband was getting.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Thank you.
I can't hear you, Lisa. What did you say?
Said thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. This is a time for questions.
Oh, I was saying thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome. No questions at this point?
I did ask one question about, once you add her, will she receive all the emails that her husband
Great
received?
question. I'm so glad you asked that. No.
Mrs.
So you will
Flamingo.
have to go back in and make sure that you resend those same emails to her now that she's added to the document. So then that's another great question. So now you've changed it, but you need to add her to these forms. So you can go in and her information, you have to add her as right here, say add. Sorry. So you say buyer. So it's a buyer signature here. You can add Mr. Flamingo, and then you can add right here, assign to, add buyer. You see add buyer. So when you add a buyer, you can go ahead and add her right here. The trick to it is, if Mr. Flamingo has already signed and you need to add her, then you will have to go back and revise this form and go ahead and add it to her, or have them
Yeah.
resend again. keep in mind too that you have to have two separate email addresses. He can't use hers and vice versa. So if they
Okay.
say, well, she doesn't have an email address, she doesn't have an email address, she used mine. Well, she needs to create one because they have to have a separate email address.
That's good to know. That's good. That's a fine detail right there. That's a
yes,
fine
it
detail
is.
right there. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Now, if he said, well, she's not computer savvy because
Doesn't matter.
if she's not or he or vice versa, they're not computer savvy and she don't know how to use email. I'll do it for her. Whatever you need to do, you need to do it, but she
Yeah.
need an email address. Who's going in an email address? That's not our business, but it need to be a new email address. Need to be hers or his, vice versa. Yadi, our lovely Vic, do you have anything you want to add?
No, that's good.
Okay. So again, this was just a overview of adding in a person in Dotloop. We will go into further detail as far as Dotloop can do so many things as far as what it can do, what it can't do. It can really make your life easier. Sometimes, especially when we get so busy, and it stores everything for you.
Yeah, it's great.
As far as the contracts, that's another class, but we'll definitely go through the other part of Dotloop. Any questions about how to add a person, how to find your forms if you get a buyer tomorrow and say, okay, Alicia, I got a person in there. Now what I do? Do you have that?
Alicia, you didn't
Yes.
do downloading and then striking through, right? Did you do that?
No, I didn't do that.
Oh, so we may need to cover that next time.
Yeah, that's the next level. Sometimes that can be can be a little overwhelming in the first beginning, especially when you're new to Dotloop. So I'm learning to try to do it in the next session because when people leave, they call us like, girl, I don't remember anything.
No, that's great. It's great.
And then we'll have to do extracting documents both ways,
Yes.
PDF and the other way, the splitting.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So consider this is your novice, and then the next time you come in, we'll go through it in further detail. But I encourage you, if you go ahead and send me that, Lisa, I'll go ahead and get you in Dotloop. But what I recommend you do, and we tell all of our students, is go ahead and play around in Dotloop. Look at it, study it. You can't break it. Just kind of see how it's designed and look at it every day and kind of get used to it. Because when that day comes and your person tells you at 9 p.m. on a Sunday night when you're lovely
and also, I'm sorry to interject. And also, YouTube is always a fantastic resource. There are always probably 20 different fantastic tutorials on all these subjects. So if you're jammed up, you don't like I was last Sunday. If you're jammed up, there's always a great tutorial out there for you to find. You probably already know that though, Lisa. I don't have to tell you that, right? You already know that.
I got it. Yes.
You already knew that.
Yes.
And if
but thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and if it happens to be in the middle, if it's a weekday and we are busy and you're like, you know what, I just don't want to bother them right now. There are meetings and whatever is going on, you can always call them. Now, Dotloop will walk you through the forms.
Oh, great. Oh, good.
To find them and what to, how to navigate through Dotloop, but they won't teach you anything else other than that. But
that's great. That's good to know.
A form or can't find something or kind of getting hung up with autofill and how to add a person, anything that we went over, they can assist you and they have great customer service and they will assist you too.
That's good to know too. That's fantastic.
All right. Well, you all have been great. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you learned some more than what you came in with about Dotloop. We try to make it as fun as possible. So thank you so much.
Great job. Great job. I definitely learned a few things. I
Thank
appreciate
you so much. And I'll be texting you in a few minutes.
All right, sounds good. As soon as you,
Okay.
as soon as I send that, you'll receive a invitation to Dotloop. Make sure you accept that within 12 hours, okay?
Okay, will do.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
All
it. Thank
right.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Good luck, John.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.
Good
You
luck.
too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Welcome.